Good day, everyone. You are listening to No One Made Mention of This, brought to you by KIV3A
SAVANT.
So here on our podcast, we'll be discussing about loads of stuff, amazing stuff that you'll be wanting to listen to, that will enhance your life, things that will make you change your view on life, that will make you understand life from a different perspective rather than the way you viewed it before. Things that will help you live life. Experiences that we've gotten from different angles of life that will be able to drop, place on the ground for you guys that will be listening to understand, to learn from. Sorry. So
now, on this podcast now, the topics we are going to be discussing, is actually two speakers here, and our view on all these topics very differently. We view things differently. The way we view it is very, very different. So you are going to be learning a lot. These are I view things. These are we view things.
Honestly, we are like people with sort of different perspectives. So starting from myself now, I grew up somewhere in Lagos, and I'm here in Sokoto. There are loads of stuff like I've been able to learn right from living my life between these two states, like how I have to set up my way of life in Lagos, and after I come down here, and then the way of life is all different from the way I know it to be in Lagos, and then I have to put it in a different way. And same as my co-host here, or co-speaker, that it views everything in a different way. Yeah, so there are loads of different perspectives here, and then come to a conclusion on how we think things should be.
Exactly. This is how this particular subject, or how this particular topic should be viewed. You might have a wrong view about particular thing. Now, let's say education or school, education/school. You can have a very wrong view on it. So in this podcast, we are going to be shedding more light to it. Okay, this is how it should be. This is how we believe it is right. Then it's left to you to actually take a look into it. Okay, would this thing benefit me if I apply it to my life? Okay, if I take this advice, would this thing benefit me? This is actually a podcast that will be fun, that will be educating, and it will be entertaining at the same time. Because you don't get to listen to all these stuff on a daily basis.
That's why it's called No One Made Mention of This.
You
don't get to hear this from anyone. Just things people believe you should understand.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen that way. You can hear it from people. You can be told, this is the way life is.
Exactly.
Life goes on.
The topics we are going to be discussing in this podcast are actually the real topic you need to actually live a good quality life. Let me put it like that.
Any topic we're discussing.
In life, any life topic. In school, we are not doing life 101. And this is, I believe, it should be there. Life 101. There are a lot of things about life, including religion.
News on how they want to implement history.
Exactly. This was history, the benefit of history. Life, how should we live life? Okay, when it's come to this area of life,
something that's supposed to come second.
No.
There's stuff like sexual education,
all these stuff,
masculinity, feminism, and loads of others are religion. These things are things,
habits. Social media,
nutrition,
all these things.
Things people should
diet now
understand properly. We should just place little value on this things when we're learning them in school. We should place high value on them, and how we have to achieve learning this thing in order to understand life properly. Things we'll be discussing here will be concerning masculinity, feminism, casual advice, social media, self-help, including depression, anxiety, and all that. We'll be discussing about education or school, marriage, diet or nutrition, dating, relationship, habit, philosophy, social awareness. We'll be talking about lifestyle and parenting,
and also family as well. So if you look at all these topics listed above, if you actually have the right view of this topic in your head, believe me, you are going to live a highly quality life, happy life. Because if your marriage is going fine, good.
Your work
is going fine. Your relationship is going fine. Your parenting, everything is going fine. Failure, you know how to handle failure. Problem, you know how to solve problem. Action taking, you know how to take the right action. Decision taking, you know how to take the right decision.
And it's not even like there won't be distance, there won't be problems, there won't be difficulties.
There will definitely
there will be. The thing is for you to understand the difficulties and how to get the job done.
Exactly.
How to solve them, how to repair them. You need to actually place some value on yourself and understand that people have certain influence
in your life.
There's a way, being a father, for instance, there are some things that your kids will do that will alter a particular mood that you've been spending your whole day to cultivate. For instance, you set some certain goals for yourself to achieve. Then you end up achieving these goals, and then out of nowhere, your son calls you and be like, "Oh, Dad, I failed this particular exam," and then you be like, "Oh, the son, I've been leaving this particular particular activity for him to accomplish," and then you just can't get it done. You need to understand that regardless of how you've been able to achieve certain things in life, it's people that you place trust in, people that I feel like these people are your family, people that you give your trust. They're the ones that are capable of altering your mood, creating problems out of nowhere in a way that you can't even explain. And how you have to be able to handle them and separate them from your own problems and get the job done. So they're your kids, they're your family, but get the job done and not letting it ruin everything you have to think about.
Now, one thing about life is that life is problem upon problem. I read a book by Mark Manson. He said those who have family are facing problem because they have family. Those who are rich are facing problem because they are rich. Those who are poor are facing problem because they are poor. Those who don't have family are facing problem because they don't have family. As you can see, this life is all about problem upon problem. We can never escape problem in life. So the best thing is to know actually how to handle problem. Okay, problem. Life is equal to problem. Okay, how do I handle this problem? And it is by solving problem that we can actually live a happy life. That's one of the way I believe we can actually live a happy life. So this is what this podcast is all about. Not only related to school or limited to school only. Like life, the real life in general.
Including social media,
everything.
Social media,
the real life, even your dating, your marriage, all the stuff that we believe it will improve the quality of your life. That's the topic we're going to be discussing.
You should take a second and pause for a second and be like, okay, now let's go back to 4 years ago in your life. Okay, what you've been. Okay, let's say you're in maybe like 100 level now. Okay, let's go back to 4 years ago when you're probably maybe like GSS 3 now. Look at your goals. When you're pursuing that time, what things that were things for you, things that you're purely after. So look at the impact of your parents, school, exactly. your teachers, life in general. Traumas you've experienced, emotional trauma, physical trauma, and like all lots of stuff, and how they've impacted your life.
All the experiences you've had.
At the same time, you see, the fact that you got hurt trying to get something done doesn't mean what you were trying to do is wrong. Or how you view getting it done is wrong. It might still be very right, but because you got out doing it, or it didn't work out at first, it doesn't mean you still can't get it done. I think we humans should like put more value in ourselves and believe more in ourselves, even if you feel like where you came from is limiting your power on something. You should still believe in yourself on getting it done. Honestly, like although it might require extra hard work, but like I don't know, it shouldn't be more than your power. We are destined to do a lot of stuff, destined to prove greatness to people, but like we have to get that done, like living where we are sitting down and putting in that work to get it done. We can even start from this podcast, like Mr. Shirley, like we face so many difficulties establishing this. But at the end of the day, we're able to get it done. We're able to put in that discipline, that work. Okay, we need to get this done and keep everything aside, keep school aside, because some things needed to be done.
Life is not all about school, just as he said. Life is not all about school. There are a lot of actually in this life is about success, and the qualities you need to develop to be successful in life, they are not taught in school. And how will you develop these qualities? And if you're like most of people that don't read books, things will be difficult. Honestly speaking, if you're like most of the people that don't,
this is his own belief now.
Yeah, that's my own belief.
I don't read books much. Like
if you're like most people, exactly. If you're like most people,
I watch documentaries a lot.
Okay, it's not about books.
To people's view, like it's about exposure. What you expose yourself.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's not about. I just put it in the context of book. He said, okay, he said he watches documentaries. He's gaining knowledge from it.
I took my stuff off. I took a step off social media and like focus more on
documentary.
Things I can learn from life and from social media rather than things that will just unconsciously impact my life. Do you understand? So these are these things.
Good. Now look at this now. Your life right now, the life you are living right now, is just like when you are born. Everything was just plain. The direction you are heading to in life is as a result of the actions you are taking. The actions you are taking is a result of your belief. Your belief is a result of what you've heard from people. And what you've heard, the experience you've had. If all these things are wrong, then you'll definitely be taking the wrong actions, then heading in the wrong direction. So this podcast actually to elucidate more on, okay, this is the right belief, like this is wrong, no, do this thing and all those stuff. This is what this podcast will be all about.
People will be talking about their gut feeling, like, oh, okay, my gut, I have this gut feeling of not getting this thing done. I don't know, we humans, you need to understand that our gut is like very subjective to the way we've trained it to respond to situations. So you can't tell me, for instance, now, like, because a God said, don't go to school, and then, okay, you feel like I shouldn't go. Oh God, like, that's what you've been doing. Don't blame this on your God. You trained your God to
believe going to school is the normal way.
Certain feeling to you, and then you're telling me that no, you're your God.
I told you something. There was a day we were talking. I told you that right now I believe drinking alcohol is one of the worst thing I will ever do. Then I told you that probably in the next 2-3 years, I can tell you, wow, drinking alcohol is something okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's just because right now this is the way I've trained my gut. Then in the next 2-3 years, I've been exposed to a lot of stuff that, wow, alcohol is just a normal thing. So that's what you believe is wrong.
For instance, now, then there are loads of us we sit down.
Well, I believe actually I love taking Nescafe, and I believe you are doing yourself harm if you are not taking it. Honestly speaking,
and there's me that believes that if you're taking it to a particular extent, up to a particular extent, they are causing more harm than good to yourself.
Now that's what you believe. Actually, I feel
like it creates like an elusive energy that your body really doesn't have. But you feel like you have it because you stimulated the energy out of nowhere. Then you're killing. That's my belief. That's his own belief. But we get to figure this whole thing out when we get into details on our podcast. So I don't know. There are lots of things to figure out. And
things you learn.
Questions can come in from our social media, our emails,
yeah.
different dilemmas, and you guys can just like bring up things that you want us to discuss about. So, things that you'd want to hear our own perspective about it, or things that you believe we can help you handle or solve. Advices we can give. And if you look into our podcast description, you get to find our email and our
social media handles.
Social media handles, most especially Twitter.
So you can mail us, and then
you can send emails, and then at the same time we will reach out to you via your email when we need you to be our guest speaker.
Exactly. We are not speaking random guy actor. Okay, what's your belief on?
Tell your view on it, honestly.
Tell us on this. We want to understand this. That's it. Now, the life you are living right now is a life you didn't create. It's life created for you by your parents. To live a very, very high quality, happy living, you need to create your own personal life. So how will you create your own personal life? To give you a happy living by understanding these fears of life. Okay, being a father, being a child, being husband, being a boyfriend, or being a girlfriend. So these are the spheres of life regarding money, regarding wealth, and also regarding your relationship, all those stuff. So these are the spheres of life. It is actually by understanding these spheres, and then by actually understanding how these spheres should be lived. Like, okay, this is how an husband should do in the marriage. These are what it takes to being a father. What it takes to be a good children, to be a good family member. They're not allowed to live a very, very good, happy living. So these are the things we believe it is right. We are going to bring in into this podcast. Now, no one is actually making mention of this. If you look around, nobody. If you go to social media, what you see is actually memes.
What you see, gossips.
You see people, you see the people.
Someone else's life.
And the thing is, everything around is your enemy. Everything around is your enemy. Mostly, your social media. Go to your Instagram. The next thing you see is probably a post of a particular social influencer doing some sort of rubbish in his life.
Let's take an example. For instance, now you sit down with your phone, and then you're scrolling social media, and then you see that your friend from secondary school or from university, and then you see the person making it in life.
Exactly.
It's not like you've not made, you've not had achievements in life.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that person chose to project his own. Okay, like this is what I've achieved. But when you get to move closer to the person, you say, oh, I've also achieved
a lot of things
in my life.
But you don't realize
you don't count them. So count your blessings, you count your lessons. There's a lot of things that have turned out positively in your life. I think you should pay more attention into those things. Like, don't just focus on how bad things have been
happening to your life, and all those stuff.
How bad it could have been, and the positivity you can generate out of your own misfortune. all those things is what are things we should be doing. We humans, not just you, me, myself, and
like
my
comparing
co-host.
our success to someone else's success.
Nah,
No,
like, no, your time will come. Your time might have even come.
It's
And
not
pass, and
even-
it's coming again. So
the issue is not even your time. Currently, you might have been achieving a success
And you're
right
not
now.
even paying attention
You are
to it.
exactly
It doesn't
because
have to.
you don't believe it is success.
Yeah,
I always tell people
exactly.
that the
Okay,
metric
let's
of
take for instance
the
now.
metric of our success is wrong.
Let's say for instance now that I have this friend that was like, his greatest achievement from the whole of this year was like was not getting killed by himself, like not committing suicide. Can you imagine that?
That's
That's like the greatest achievement one can have in this life.
And someone would think
Not giving up on life.
achieving is actually about making money.
And then someone will be
All
like,
about
okay,
no.
my whole life now this year I've made about 7 million naira.
That's his own personal
That's your-
achievement,
that's your
and
own
everything
perspective.
is going fine for him. Your own achievement
Financially-
this year might be okay. Well, I didn't kill myself. Wow, that's
It's
good.
based on your own goal.
My
based
own,
on
the only achievement I
perspective.
actually have right now in this year is just about thinking and dreaming. That sounds absurd, but I know what I mean.
At the same
Just
time, no,
thinking and
at the
dreaming.
same time,
That's my own
and then
achievement
there
this
is
year.
me that
I'm
believe
very grateful for
it
it.
shouldn't be about a yearly thing, because like I feel like
It's about
it's
yeah,
about
daily
whatever time
thing,
it comes.
daily thing.
Every day as I grow,
Daily analysis.
I'm improving, and then I face challenges and then I break them down. I feel like I have this feeling that okay, every week I always face difficulties. Someone will bring one news that will weigh me down, then I have to like be a man and like handle the problem properly and don't let it
Slide.
handle me. Rather I'll handle it.
Yeah.
Like all those
Because
things.
life, are you going through life or your life is going through you?
Yeah, honest. That's a very brilliant question. Are you
going through life or life?
Life is going through.
So now, this is it. One of my greatest mentor, I'll put it like that. He said, like life, either if you are going through life, like if you are not controlling life, you are like a leaf in the midst of a blowing wind. You are at the mercy of the wind. The wind can carry you to anywhere, either into the ocean, into the fire, on the street, anywhere. If life is going through you, that's how you'll be. Like you'll be at the mercy of life. But you actually need to come to a particular realization that no, you need to be controlling your life.
Yeah.
You
And
need
that
to
starts
be
from viewing
controlling
life from
your
very good
very
perspective.
different perspective. And this is what this podcast is all about.
We're enlightening you. We're
On
enhancing
these
your
and
knowledge
these and these
on
and
certain
these.
things that you don't get to learn from school. No one will ever
No
tell
one,
you.
nobody. Nobody.
Honestly, you see, I think you should sit down and pay
Like,
attention to
this
influence
podcast,
of
we have-
life, social media, parenting, your friends, and everything. in your life.
every stuff.
The friends you've left, your
Why?
relationships,
Like,
people
people-
you've dated.
Who you follow on social
You see,
media?
okay. Let's take a look at this thing for instance. Now you see, there's this thing about people and their types, and it's very funny to me because you see people, and people will be like, okay, for instance, they'll be like, my own type is a girl that texts me every night and all that, and then okay, let's say prior to that, their ex-girlfriend, with their ex, they weren't really all about, you have
Texting
to
and
text
all
me
that stuff.
online, but like that was the habit the girlfriend, the ex cultivated. She was used to like texting and all that, and you feel like you're in a new relationship, and then you miss that, and you just like pull that thing on someone else. I think that there are loads of stuff about people in life, and then you should just be willing to explore those things rather than forcing perspective
Now,
on them.
what he's trying to say is that, like, the things you actually believe to be right now is actually like as a result of your past experience. Just to me, in summary. So your past experience might be wrong. So definitely your belief too will be wrong. So like, explore new things. Like, people might be right. What you believe is wrong might be right. So explore. Listen to people. What do they have to say? Okay, the greatest thing in life is about learning, unlearning, and relearning. Aristotle said, like, the wisest man on earth is the man that is learning. So I believe you must be a dumb ass if you want to actually excel in the field of life. A dumb ass. You don't know anything. You are just always willing to learn. And this podcast will help you learn a lot. At least twice a week or once a week. We are going to be dropping new series all the time. At least that will just about different topics that we've mentioned earlier. No one is actually making mention of this. So we are going to be making mention of this, and these are the topics, these are the things you need to actually excel in life. Yeah, because this year I realized, wow, so life is not about being a medical doctor, or about going to school, what about doing what they say?
And the realization
Why is
comes
actually
from different angles.
honestly speaking,
I realized this even before getting into medical school. I know this my guy is just getting to.
honestly speaking, and wow, I'm trying to create my own life.
You channeling all your own belief around being a medical doctor.
Yeah, it's wrong.
That doesn't mean it's wrong,
No. It's like in this life,
life,
I'm trying to create another life for myself because I believe how to be happy, to be living a life of fulfillment is actually by creating your own personal life. Creating your own personal life. So you need, wow, that's something great. The life you are living currently, probably I've said this earlier, this is life created for you by your parents. So to have a happy,
environment,
successful,
people that influence your environment,
your parents, your social media,
your area,
social media.
Okay, take a look at me now. You know, I came from. I think that should be left for another day because we'll discuss that.
Exactly. This is just like a brief introduction of what we are going to be discussing. What should you miss?
Like, you guys, you know, you'll be requesting from us, and on the days when we'll be too busy to record, but I promise you, we'll be doing everything we can in our power to always record and drop new episodes for you guys to listen.
At least,
thank you very much, everybody, for listening to us. We really appreciate your concern.
Your concern, and if you are listening it to this level, I believe every week you should be checking us out. At least taking about 1 hour or about 30 minutes a day to improve the quality of your life. I think that's a very, very great achievement. A very great investment. Exactly. Exactly. Because the topics will be very, very corrosive. Let me put it very, very corrosive. Like what you believe to be wrong, what you believe to be right is actually wrong. What you believe to be right is actually wrong. So honestly speaking, these are the things we are going to be discussing. We are going to be blowing up a lot of things. A lot of topics. No one is actually making mention of this. Even your parents at times won't tell you this. Your school won't tell you this. Your friends won't tell you this. Nobody. And the social media will be telling you this, but they will be giving you the wrong advice. You know, if you go to social media, you actually believe nobody is having a happy marriage. But when I was searching about happy marriage this year, I got to realize, wow, there's actually a way to actually live happily in marriage. There's actually a way to be financially successful. There's actually a way to be living happy life. When I was searching everything this year, but if you look at your environment, you believe life is all about problem. Yeah, life is all about problem. You believe life is all about problem, life is all about sadness. No, there are people living a very, very high quality life. Like they are fine with it. They are doing good with themselves. They are doing good with themselves, doing good with their wife, doing good with their parents, with their family. You too, you can live that kind of life, honestly speaking.
It goes the other way too, please. You know, just like he said now, he said there are people doing good in their life and all that, and then social media portrays this view of people not enjoying their life.
Exactly.
But there are people too that portray living a very good life on social media.
But they are wrong. They are actually living a fucking bad life.
You know?
Exactly.
So
exactly. So the influence social media has
on take our time to break this whole thing down for everyone that will be listening to us on this podcast.
Exactly.
Before we take too much of a time, you know, on paying attention to what we have to discuss here, we'd like to call this whole thing short and for it to stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah, that would be.
You can you can listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and
Google Podcasts, and all those stuff.
So you receive new notification on new episodes when we are dropping them. Just subscribe and stay tuned.
Also, the last but not the least, if you have anything you want us to discuss that you believe these are topics that will actually enhance the quality of people's life, then mail us or send us a DM anonymously on Twitter, because this is that's the purpose of this podcast, like how people can live a very, very enhanced quality life. So that's it for today.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Yeah.
I remain Savant.
I remain Kiva.
No one made mention of these.
Actually,
life topics worth discussing is what we are going to be discussing here. No one is actually making mention of this. And these are topics everybody should be making mention of this. Your school, your parents, your teacher, everybody. These are the topics they should be mentioning, but they didn't. So we are going to be doing it for you. We are going to be doing it for you.
Thank
you.
See
you later.
Thank you very much for paying attention. Thank you.